Everyone, this is Vanessa. How is everyone doing in this quarantine? Welcome to the One Anderson channel. I'm going to be doing some baked goods for short and sweet. And today what I'm going to be doing is a not so classic chocolate chip cookie. And the things that make it a not so classic chocolate chip cookie are things like brown butter. And then we actually have two different types of chocolate chips. So I'll go over all of them, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So the first thing that I actually have is the brown sugar. Now, preferably it's light brown sugar, but because of quarantine, all I have is dark brown sugar. So we're going to have to make it work. We also have white sugar. We have some vanilla extract as well. And then the fun ingredient is the brown butter. So to make this brown butter, you take 2 sticks of butter, you melt it, and then you wait until it actually starts getting this like nutty aroma. And then after you pour it into a glass cup, please don't do a plastic cup because I had a friend do that and it burned a hole through her measuring cup. You have to make sure that you can fill it all the way up to a cup. So if there's any missing, because some of it does get evaporated, you just add a little bit more water just to make the full cup. Okay. And then just some of the other ingredients, which we'll be using too, is we have 1 egg with 1 egg yolk, baking soda, you can use table salt, and then we have our 2 different types of flours. Now I know if you've seen the ingredients, there is a cup of bread flour and then 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I know a lot of people don't have bread flour, but trust me, if you love chewy cookies and not the crispy ones, you need the bread flour. So if you can get your hands on it, I know during the quarantine, this is actually easier to find than all-purpose flour. Get yourself some bread flour. And then the last thing is the chocolate. So we have our normal chocolate chips, semi-sweet, but then the thing that I love the most is this dark chocolate. And it's just a Ghirardelli bar, 4 ounces, so like 1 full bar. And you just chop it up a couple of times. You like to have big pieces so that when you're biting into the chocolate chip cookie, you just get a mouthful of chocolate. So we have both of those. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions during the actual tutorial, feel free to send it through chat and I will try my best to get those answered. So the first thing we're going to do is add the sugars, the vanilla extract, and the brown butter into the mixing bowl. Now I'm using a stand mixer. You don't have to use a stand mixer if you don't have one. You can use a hand mixer. You can even use your hand. I know Clay had his workout this morning, so if you want to get more of a workout, you could definitely use a whisk. It's just going to take you a little longer to get really fluffy sugar. So take the sugar, put it into the mixing bowl, both of them, and I'll show you guys what it actually looks like or supposed to look like as soon as I start getting it mixing. Okay. And again, this liquid gold, brown butter. Okay, and then you can put it on medium for about 1 to 2 minutes, okay? Probably should put that up a little bit. All right.
Sure, while that's going, the reason that we're doing the brown butter is because it just gives it a more nutty flavor, so there's no need to add like some extra nuts in it. You also can really get sort of like that really deep molasses flavor when you use the brown butter. And I know a lot of recipes that do ask for brown butter tell you to like leave it for about 15 minutes. Don't do that. Leave it for longer. It needs at least 45 minutes to an hour just sitting on the counter. So that way your cookies don't actually become like really, really greasy. So that's kind of just one little tip for the brown butter. Trust me, I know it seems like extra work and just having to add melted butter in the microwave, but it really, really makes a difference. And if you could smell this, it smells like heaven. I know some people try to make brown butter in the microwave. I will tell you that it doesn't work. I actually had a glass measuring cup sort of explode on me in the microwave, so not only did I have a mess, but I had to clean up a little bit of a broken glass in there. So I would suggest doing that extra step, doing it over the stove, and really just waiting for it to turn that really nutty brown. Okay? So right now we have it going on for about a minute. I'll give it another minute because it's still not really light. And then I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like so you know when to stop it. Right now, it's okay if you over mix it a little bit. when it starts becoming a little bit of a problem, you start adding people as well. So I'll go into that and we'll actually do a hand mixing as well. Okay. So I'm going to stop it right here and show you what it's supposed to look like.
And I'm going to reach for this. So as you can see, it's mixed. It's not really fluffy, but all of the ingredients are mixed and it's nice and thick. Okay. So now what we're going to add to it is that full egg and an egg yolk. Now, if you've never actually separated an egg, the best way to really start doing it is not with the actual eggshells, because that gets really tricky and you can cut the egg yolk in half. I would just do it in my hand. Just literally crack it in your hand and go in between your hands and really just try to catch the egg yolk, and then the whites will fall through your fingers. So you'll add that and you'll mix just until it's incorporated. So again, medium.
And while that's going, we're going to get our dry ingredients together. So we have that flour, both of them mixed together, the salt, the baking soda, and we'll just give it a little bit of a mix, just to make sure that it's okay.
All right. Now this is the fun part. This is where you actually have to pour the flour in 3 batches. Now I'm really, really bad at pouring, so I'm actually going to go the long route and put it down, take it out, because if not, I will make a mess. So all you have to do is just pour in about 1/3 of the mixture. Now again, it doesn't have to be accurate. It's okay if there's a little too much or not enough. Stick it back onto the hand mixer. And then this is where you really, really have to be careful not to overmix. So really just mix until it's incorporated. Okay.
All right, I think we're almost there.
Then I'll bring it down again. And actually, just so you guys can see, I will move the camera over so you can see what I mean by it's still really, there's a lot of flour on the side, and that's totally okay. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it towards the end. So let me add more flour. Okay. Then I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like and when you're supposed to stop. Okay, so again, mostly incorporated. Don't need to worry about all of the flour on the edges. We'll get to that. And then here is the last. As I said, I'm not very good at pouring in the flour, but we'll get it all in there, I promise. Okay. There's the last of the flour, and then we'll mix it just one more time. Okay.
Make sure you don't put it too high unless you're going to get flour all over yourself.
All right. So coming back over here, we will show how to add the chocolate chips and get rid of that extra flour as well. Okay. So I have my handy dandy spatula. I think I need to fix this. Sorry. It's my first YouTube video, so I'm not exactly very good at this. All right. So get off just all of that excess dough. I swear, if you guys could smell this, it smells so good. That brown butter goes such a long way on the flavor. This is my favorite cookie dough recipe. And if you want, you can even add a little bit of espresso powder to it. If you really like sort of that coffee flavor, or just like chocolate that really, really tastes like chocolate, that espresso powder really brings out that flavor. Okay, so we got most of that off. Then we'll add the 2 different types of chocolate in here. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the final mixing with the spatula, and that's when you really get all of that flour that's on the outside. So like I said, don't have to worry about it. You're gonna get all the flour in there. You just mix it a couple of times. Again, we don't want to overmix this. If you overmix it, the cookies are gonna be really, really chewy, but in a bad way. Okay, so mix it in there. Make sure all of the chocolate is within that batter, so we have every piece have some chocolate. Okay. All right, we're almost there. I think one final mix. There you go. I'll show you what it looks like. Yummy, yummy chocolate cookie dough. Okay. So now the hard part is we actually have to wait for this to be done until tomorrow. So you can't really eat it today. You can cook it if you want to right now. I would advise against it because we used melted brown butter versus softened brown butter. The cookies are really going to turn flat if you try to cook them today. So the trick is to get another baking sheet, scoop them up on there, and then freeze them overnight. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Not only does it make a really nice thick cookie, but it also really helps the flavors really develop together. So, and the easiest way, honestly, to do it is just an ice cream scoop. There's no reason not to try to do it with your hands. So that's what I do. So you just scoop. A little too much chocolate there. And then you just scoop it onto your pan. And that's it. You just put them all there. Show you. Literally looks like a little ball of cookie dough. And then you put them in the freezer, leave them overnight. Once they're done overnight, you put them into the oven at 375 for about 14 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of your ice cream scoop. And then you have some really good chocolate chip cookies. And I'll show you guys what they look like the next day. So I made these yesterday. Really, really good, as you can see. Don't look like your average Toll House cookies, but I swear they're so good. They have like really big chocolate chunks. You'll see the semi-sweet cookies in there. And then again, like I said, it is chewy, and I love chewy cookies. So there we go. So much chocolate. All right. And that's all I have for today. They're really, really simple cookies. For next time, if you guys have anything that you guys want to see, such as scones, pound cakes, cheesecakes, we could do cakes. I will say they're a little bit more difficult and they require a lot of tools, but we could definitely do cakes. But if you guys have any other recipes that you guys want to try, let me know in the comments, and then we'll try to do it next time. All right? All right, so one question.
One question.
So how long does it take to brown the butter, and how do we know when it is done? So it takes about 5 minutes total from when you put the stick of butter to get to the brown butter. And you have to be really, really careful. You can't stop mixing, because if you do, it starts bubbling and creating sort of like this white layer of like clouds. So you have to really be mixing, and it'll be that dark brown that I showed at the front. If you go over, it'll be like almost like toasted walnuts that you over toasted in the oven. So it's got to be sort of like a light tan brown. Trust me, as soon as it's ready, you will smell it. It will smell like nuts. Okay. Any other questions that we have, Jules? No? All right. Well, thank you again, guys, for joining the One Anderson channel. It's me, Vanessa, with Short and Sweet. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks.